As a program facilitator or support staff, you play a vital role in helping individuals and families in your community. But how can you be sure your program truly meets their needs and doesn't unintentionally cause harm? And how can you demonstrate to funders or other partners that your program is effective so that you can secure ongoing funding and support? Hi, I'm Nikki Mangola, an implementation specialist here at the CSU Prevention Research Center. If you're watching this video, you're probably partnered with our team to support your program implementation and evaluation efforts, all with the goal to highlight your impact and sometimes learn from what's not working so well. Although your role might not always involve a deep dive into program evaluation, we still rely on your help to collect accurate and complete data. Our shared goal is to gather information that provides a full picture of your program's impact. The point of this video is to support you and your team in collecting meaningful survey data about your programs. By following our suggestions, it's more likely that you will not waste your time and resources due to simple errors, and the survey data you help collect can contribute to our program evaluations. We understand the challenge of managing both your program's implementation and data collection, all while juggling a full workload. In this short video, I'll help walk you through the steps of administering pre- and post-tests to help efficiently collect high-quality data. I suggest printing out our survey instructions that are designed for your specific program to keep with your implementation materials. If you can't find your program-specific survey instructions, please contact us at the PRC for more details. Today we'll cover 1. Our survey administration process, and 2. Solutions to common challenges. First, let's review our survey administration process. Here are 4 general steps to follow for every implementation. Step 1. Prepare materials beforehand. When you begin gathering materials for a new implementation of your program, ensure you have a copy of the program-specific survey instructions ready before your first session. We usually recommend that participants complete online surveys because they require less time and are easier to manage compared to paper surveys. However, some program teams prefer paper surveys for various reasons, so instructions for those are included here as well. The decision should be made by your team in advance. Here are a couple of specific recommendations depending on the type of survey you're administering. If your team has chosen to use an online version of the survey, ensure you have reliable internet access and the correct survey link or QR code for your first and last sessions. If your team has chosen to use paper surveys, be sure to print enough copies of the pre- and post-tests directly from the PRC before the first session. This will save you from any last-minute adjustments due to missing surveys or forgetting about the survey. It is important that your team receives the print-specific versions of the surveys ahead of time because these are often different from the online versions. Step 2. Prepare surveys for distribution. The purpose of using pre- and post surveys is to compare participants' attitudes, knowledge, or behaviors before they start the program with how they are after completing it. Therefore, you should administer pre-test right before the first session and post-test immediately after the last session. Your program-specific survey instructions will provide more detailed guidance on when to deliver the surveys. If you're using a pre- and post-test online through our center, you only need to share a single link or QR code with participants, and they will select whether they are completing a pre-test or post-test. However, if you're using paper and pencil surveys, you'll need to pay special attention to the different versions. Make sure you have copies of both the pre-test and the post-test versions, as they are not identical, and be sure to administer them at appropriate times. Step 3. Introduce the survey. This is the most important step to follow. It's very common for participants to make minor errors on critical survey questions that help our team match participant survey data, such as the location of the program cohort, the type of survey, for example, whether they need to take the pre-test or post-test for online surveys, or the unique identification, called a unique ID, of the participant. To help compare participant scores from before and after the program, our team uses unique IDs to help us identify which participants have matching pre- and post-tests, while keeping their identities confidential. Generating unique IDs will vary depending on your specific survey. For example, it might include a series of questions such as, what is the first letter of your last name, and What are the last four digits of your phone number? This is a topic that we will come back to in the second part of this video. Before administering the survey, here are some important reminders. Take steps to create a comfortable space for participants, ensuring that they cannot see each other's responses. And avoid looking through participants' responses to maintain confidentiality. Once everyone is ready to begin, it's time to share the QR code, hyperlink, or printout and guide the participants through the survey introduction. Here are the steps to introducing your survey, which are also included in your program-specific instructions. Encourage respondents to provide as much honest and complete information as possible, reassuring them that their individual answers will remain confidential. Remind them to read each question carefully, and if completing a paper survey, to look at both the front and back of pages for questions. Inform participants that they should not include their names or other identifying details on their surveys. If you are using paper surveys, explain the protocol for handing in the survey, such as providing a shared, sealed envelope to protect their privacy. Use the time specified in your program-specific instructions to inform participants how long they have to complete the survey. Finally, and most importantly, explain to participants how to correctly complete the demographics section. This includes the unique ID section, location or school section, and any other key information listed in the instructions. If they have questions about this section, feel free to assist them. These questions can sometimes be tricky because our goal is to always keep participants' responses confidential. It may help to either complete the section with them or have an example on the whiteboard. Step 4. Share the data. This is where using online surveys makes the process much smoother. If you're using online surveys, just notify us once you're done completing the pre and post tests, and then our team will be ready to start the evaluation and be ready to share your program's impact. Sharing paper surveys should always be handled carefully because it adds an extra step. If you are using paper surveys, make sure to establish a data sharing plan with our center before starting your program. For example, we might ask that you mail the surveys directly to us, or have a staff member who does not know the participants either hand deliver or scan the participant surveys. This process will take considerable time to share the surveys and then manually enter them into our data system before proceeding with any evaluations. So those are our 4 steps for survey administration. It might feel like a lot to follow right now, but the payoff should be worth it. Having usable data for a solid program evaluation means that your time spent on survey administration will not be wasted. Unlike the other examples where we would have to discard the data due to the issues we previously mentioned. Next, I'm going to take a moment and review 2 common survey administration challenges that communities often encounter. Mistakes and adjustments to program evaluation happen because we're human. There are several unfortunate consequences of survey errors, and many mistakes can be prevented with proper care before and during survey distribution. The first common challenge is always having the right survey available. There's a whole field dedicated to learning how to write strong sets of survey questions that accurately measure program impact, called psychometrics. The surveys we provide are typically validated by this research. However, those surveys are only validated as they were originally designed. Therefore, we ask that you use the provided pre- and post-tests that our team has shared with you, rather than painstakingly creating a new one for your implementation or hand-picking questions from the survey. Additionally, we need data from both before and after participants complete the program. Having only one set of data means we lack a basis for comparison and cannot determine if anything changed. Retrospective surveys, or surveys asking participants to reflect on their experiences before and after the program, tend to be unreliable. Therefore, our evaluation team relies solely on specific pre- and post-tests to ensure our data is as useful and accurate as possible. Part of this process involves making sure that the exact same questions are asked before and after the program. Using the wrong survey or only completing pre-tests or post-tests prevents our team from analyzing those data. This could make you feel like your time is wasted and reduce the chances of delivering a high-quality evaluation report. Potential solutions to this challenge? If you're using paper surveys, ensure to have copies of both the pretest and the post-test version since they are not the same. If you're sharing a survey link, double-check that it's the correct one for the program before distributing it. If you believe the survey is missing something, needs adjustments to better fit your needs, or if you'd like assistance in building capacity to administer the pre and post surveys, please contact the PRC. We can discuss how to make the survey more effective for your team. If you're unable to access the survey you need or unsure about it, please contact your program manager or our team at the PRC. We'll ensure you get the correct survey for your program, including access to both online and printed versions. Stay organized by using dedicated folders to keep track of your implementation, attendance, and surveys, for example. And lastly, report any mistakes as soon as possible. Mistakes could include delivering a survey from the wrong program, delivering the correct program survey but at the wrong time, or delivering an altered version of the survey we provided. The second common challenge is ensuring participants can be matched from pre-test to post-test while still maintaining confidentiality. Unique IDs and other important information must be consistent to ensure participant surveys can be matched from the pre-test to the post-test. Ensuring unique IDs are entered accurately allows this match to occur. Many participants complete this section incorrectly, which hinders our ability to match their surveys. When this occurs, the participant's entire pre- and post-surveys cannot be analyzed. Sometimes the number of participants with errors in their unique IDs is too high, and we are unable to evaluate the program at all. However, an important aspect of confidentiality is keeping participants' names or identifying information separate from their survey responses. This ensures that they can answer questions honestly rather than trying to perform well or present themselves in a positive light. It also safeguards their privacy. Biased or dishonest data might suggest that the program is more effective than it really is. This could seem better initially, but what if your participants actually perform worse after the program and you didn't realize it? Having inaccurate data prevents you from making the necessary changes to ensure what you're doing is genuinely helpful. Potential solutions to this challenge. During survey distribution, instruct participants on how to complete the unique ID section, along with other identifying questions like date and location, to ensure accuracy and consistency. This may involve providing extra time up front to review these instructions, and providing an example on a whiteboard. And always prioritize protecting participants' privacy. If paper copies are used, instruct participants to place their surveys in a sealable envelope or container for direct submission to the evaluators. Never review participant survey responses outside of the demographic or introduction sections. To wrap things up, your careful attention to the survey process is essential for collecting accurate data, which helps us understand how effectively your program serves participants. By following these steps and addressing common challenges, we can work together to promote the success of your program and its impact to partners and funders. Remember, if you have any questions or need extra support, don't hesitate to contact the PRC. We're here to help, and addressing any potential issues early will save time and resources later. Your PRC evaluation lead can answer questions, provide support, and share your program-specific survey instructions. Thank you for your dedication to making meaningful changes in your local community. And happy surveying!